This video is brought to you by
Cool Grain Clothing. We done gone worldwide and we coming straight out of Baltimore. Come on down, shop with us at 215 West Saratoga Street. And if you can't come and shop with us in person, go online right now at coolgrainclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. When you are a teenager, for a lot of people, that was the most exciting time of their lives. From getting up every day going to school, to coming home, going outside to hang with friends. That love for life at that age just hits a little different. That's why you can still scroll down your timeline and see somebody probably in their 30s posting an old high school pic because of the memories. For most, it was a time of innocence, not too many responsibilities, and being able to have worry-free fun. For a lot of teens though, depending on their environment, it becomes a little bit tricky. We all strive as parents to give our kids a great life, no matter where we come from. But in certain places, even at a young age, kids understand it's real out here. I can still be a young man or woman, but I have to be on point. Some go off of what they see every day when they open their front doors, and sadly become products of their environment, because unfortunately, it's easier to follow than lead, especially when you are trying to find yourself and fit in. But then on the flip side of that, you have another group of kids that understands what goes on where they come from, and put in their minds at a young age, I want better for myself and my family. But when navigating in these dangerous cities, like my hometown of Baltimore, or places like Philly, Chicago, or Birmingham, I can go on and on. Unfortunately, making it to 18 becomes a struggle all in itself to even accomplish those dreams and goals. And unfortunately, our kids are losing their lives before they can even really live. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing the case of a teen who lost his life at a prom after party. Back in 2022, 17-year-old Jasmine Brunson Jr., who friends and family had many nicknames for, one being Jay, was navigating life in Baltimore. The teen was a junior in high school and attended Carver Vocational Tech. The ambitious young man, who friends and family often joked with and called Pretty Boy because of his hair and how serious he was about fashion, understood life growing up in a city like Baltimore. Jay grew up the only boy amongst sisters, so he told himself early on he would be the one to make it out and make a better life for his family. A normal teen, he loved hanging out with friends, getting fresh, but as he got older, Jay took it upon himself to start going to the boxing gym every day in Upton, with some of the city's greatest trained at, like Javante. Jay felt boxing not only gave him discipline, but also could keep him out of trouble and on the path to one day maybe even becoming pro and taking care of his family. He trained daily until he got noticed by some of the coaches in the gym who felt like he had raw talent. With boxing being one passion, Jay also had another passion, swimming. And during pool season, he had a job at a local pool. A bright young man who was focused, responsible, never been in any trouble, and stayed out the way, it seemed Jay was doing everything not to fall to the streets. About May of 2022, he was excited his school's junior prom was coming around, and he wanted to make sure he was fresh and able to dance with all the girls. Jay would go out and buy a suit, some shoes, and the day of, shorty was fresh, feeling himself, and nobody couldn't tell him nothing. He stood outside posing for pictures and taking videos, as his families and neighbors was excited for the young man. He had his jewelry on, glasses, and was ready to turn up. He told his coaches at the gym the day before he had to miss a day, but he would see them that following day. Jay headed out, and the prom was a success as the young man got a lot of attention. After the event, it was going to be an after party at an Airbnb on East Lafayette Street in East Baltimore. Jay, who didn't want the night to end, attended the party, but somewhere in the mix, things would go left. In the early morning hours of May 13th, 2022, BPD would get a call of shots fired in a house that the prom's after party was being held at. They responded to the scene about 3:30 a.m. to find Jay suffering from a gunshot wound. He would be rushed to a local hospital, but unfortunately, the young man would pass away from his injuries. People in the community were in shock. How could a young man lose his life attending something harmless like a prom party? No one claimed to know exactly what happened or why Jay was targeted. There was speculation going around it was a robbery for his watch and shoes, but there was no leads or suspects. As news spread to his mother and family, she was heartbroken. She didn't understand why this had to happen to her son. As she stated, Jay didn't play the streets, but go to work, go to the gym, and school. She wanted answers, but no one had any. The story would go nationwide as it was painted as a crisis in Baltimore, where a teen could attend a prom party and be gunned down and no one be held responsible. A reward was put out for $8,000 for information on who took the young man's life, before being doubled to $16,000. His coaches at the gym grieved as they remembered the young man was excited about going to the prom, and he let them know after that he was right back on his grind and mission to go pro. A vigil was held for Jay as everyone lit candles and held balloons. In his old neighborhood, one of his childhood friends spoke out on the kind of person he was. The young man stated, not wishing harm on nobody else, but out of all people, he would have never thought no one would hurt Jay, who was laid back and stayed out the way. It seemed everyone was hurt and confused. A GoFundMe was made to lay the young man to rest, and everyone supported. And just as fresh as he was going to the prom, his family wanted the young man to be called home with that same kind of drip on. Jay's teachers described the young man as very respectful and an example for other students, especially being how focused he was on his dreams and goals and making it in life at a young age. But that was cut short. Till this day, no arrest has been made in Jay's case, as no one ever came forward or really don't truly know what happened to this young man or why he lost his life. But it's definitely unfortunate. So many of our young men and women don't get to live up to their full potential, losing their lives before they even really get a chance to live. To see the excitement in Shorty's face the day of his prom in the video, there's no way he could have knew this would be his last day living. His mother's pain was deep in her interview. She pleaded for answers and felt why her son, and which I'm sure every mother out there who has lost a child feels the same way. Rest in peace to Jay. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. I think about me going to prison at 17 years old, how young I was, and my mindset. I wasn't nowhere near as sharp as Shorty, and how much I changed and evolved as a man now in my 30s, because I was blessed with a chance to live. Unfortunately, it's so many who never get that chance to reach their full potential because of somebody else playing God. Hopefully Jay's family has found some kind of peace and him being in a better place. He might not be able to take care of them financially, but he can be with them spiritually every day. Hopefully his memory will give him the strength to heal. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. Leave it in the comments. Yeah, man, I remember when this first happened. This was a messed up story. Rest in peace, that young man. I send my belated condolences to his family. But yeah, I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. That's another episode of the Baltimore Way. It's your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.